Good afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Vonnie Mbuli. You're live on SABC3. Somizi has established himself as one of South Africa's best-loved TV and radio personalities. And currently, he hosts South Africa's biggest breakfast radio show with Fresh on Metro FM. Recently, he released his memoir titled Dominoes, Unbreakable Spirit. And if you've kept your eye on the entertainment news over the past few weeks, you'll know that the book has caused quite a stir. And today, we sit down with him to get the lowdown on his book and in an exclusive interview. So I hope you've got the popcorn ready because this is going to get interesting and wild. And while you're online, connect with us on social media. Today we're asking you, if you were a celebrity with a tell-all book, which hashtag would best describe it?
I know our best-selling book for the show today is going to be hashtag Afternoon Express. I'm telling you what, one hand is going to be on Twitter going, ooh, ooh, he said what? Okay. The other hand's going to be in the popcorn, dishing that food into your mouth. So make sure you guys get into all of our social media accounts. We'd also love to hear from you on the phone lines. They are officially open. That's the best part about being live on SABC3. 021-430-9881 is that number you can dial. It should be on speed dial. You can send through all your comments and questions on the show today. Let's get the show trending. Now, in the kitchen today, because Somizi was in the loft with us, we thought, well, it just had to be over the top. It had to be decadent. It had to be glamorous, it had to be glorious, and Clem has put all of those different things together into one absolutely incredible dessert.
Why stop the weekend? Continue with the indulgence, and we're all going to do exactly that in the kitchen. We're going to make a beautiful chocolate ganache tart.
Okay, it's a brand new week. We're allowed to cheat today.
Well, normally we go healthy on a Monday, but I mean, Somizi is here. We're just going to go all out. So chocolate tart it is.
But chocolate tart sounds a bit like me. It's not just any chocolate tart. You're making a chocolate tart with the yummy little thingy with there's like almonds toasted on top with sugar, and there's like cookies, and it's just amazing, by the way. I've had a little look at it and it's amazing. So basically make sure you guys stay tuned for that. All those details coming up later on the show. So now, Somizi is one of South Africa's best loved personalities, and we absolutely love him here on Afternoon Express. His memoir, Dominoes, Unbreakable Spirit, was released a little over a month ago and made it onto the bestseller list a mere 24 hours after its release. How amazing. Copies are still flying off the shelves, and we just had to invite him to our loft again to get an exclusive insight into his incredible story. It's about to get saucy.
Absolutely. Joining us in the loft right now on the couch is the man of the moment, author of Dominoes, Unbreakable Spirit. How are you? Welcome to the loft, Somizi.
I am fabulous.
You're becoming like furniture here.
Yeah?
You're becoming like furniture here. You should just move in.
I don't mind.
Absolutely.
This loft is just amazing.
Last time we were here, we did promise that Somizi would be back to talk about his book in an exclusive interview. Now, I know that when you write a book, you set out with an idea of a story that you're going to tell. And usually it's just an aspect of your life that's inspiring you to write.
Yeah.
But then you find yourself having to paint a world so that your readers can place you in that world. What are some of the things in that world that you weren't ready to talk about and you found yourself in the end talking about?
Sure, there's a lot. I talk about the sexual assault case that happened, and when I went into that place again, I realized that how we take things for granted. We think we've healed. When time goes on, and I realized that actually I'm still angry. You know, I need to fix this. So it helped me as well, as much as I believe and I want it to help somebody else who's going through the same thing. I talk about when I was sick, and no one had hope and faith, but I was the only person that believed that I'm gonna get through this. And then I went back to that place emotionally. So it was very tough. And then I speak about, but there's a deluxe version that is coming where I speak about the best man in my life. And the best man, talking about my father, my best friend Titi, my ex Tom, and my other ex, the different roles that they played in my life. And the toughest one is when I talk about both my exes, the one that is like gave his all to make sure that I'm alive when we're exes already. And then what I went through with my latest ex when he also sacrificed a whole lot of things when I was sick. So all those things, you get to a place where you realize, damn.
Well done.
I am strong.
Absolutely. Yeah. You've decided to call it Dominoes, Unbreakable Spirit. I get the Unbreakable Spirit part. It's very obvious, but why Dominoes?
Dominoes, the book was supposed to be called Somizi, the Unbreakable Spirit. Until one day I'm driving and I hear Brian Temba doing an interview on Metro. And initially I thought the song Dominoes was a romantic song. I thought it said they felt it's something like Dominoes.
They felt like Dominoes.
It's a gospel song that says the walls fell down just like dominoes. And I'm like,
whoa.
That's my life.
That's incredible.
Called Brian. I said, Brian, thank you for the inspiration. I'm taking this Dominoes title and it makes sense. All my life, I've never been number one. All my life, I've never had anything served to me on a silver platter. I had to push. I had to prove myself 10 times harder than my competition or my counterparts or my colleagues. I've never been number one at school.
It's funny, no one would have thought that.
No.
I mean, that would never come to mind if I
No.
imagine your life. I mean, your life comes across charmed, and perhaps that's the picture you paint.
Yeah.
But what do you mean you were never number one?
I've never been number one, and there's nothing worse than being number 6 when you know you deserve to be number one.
When it only feels right to be in number
when
one.
you know you deserve to be number one. So, and I got used to it, but I'm grateful for that because being number one the first time, you don't know. When you are born on a silver platter, you have no understanding what it feels like to be hungry. When you are born in money, you have no sense of respect for money unless you understand what it feels like to be broke. So every little thing that I went through prepared me to be. Now I can also humbly so say, I'm enjoying being number one in everything that I do because I went for training in every aspect of my life.
Yeah. Now, I think it would be a shame to not mention that you co-wrote this with Leslie Mufokeng,
Yes,
and I know you feel the same way.
Definitely.
Why him, and how did you feel that he could best portray your voice?
Wow, I couldn't think of anyone else. Leslie Mufokeng gets me. There's a difference when I've seen people writing books and I read a book and I'm like, but that's not this person speaking. Leslie respected my accent, my voice, my vocab, my vratata zibagir English.
Yes.
He respected it because it is my fans that are buying into this. They want Somizi. They want to hear Somizi. And I said to him, I don't want to write. I don't want to write. I'm going to speak on the voice note, send it to you, and please do not use words I've never even spoken in my life. Do not use our procrastination. Of the ostentatiously deliberate and let Somizi speak. And,
absolutely.
And for me, I think that is the reason why this book is a success.
Wow, absolutely. Well, we'll be right back with a deluxe version of this interview. Don't go away.
It's going to be epic. So keep using that hashtag Afternoon Express across all social media platforms. Let's spread some love for this man who decided to take it upon himself to share the true stories of what it takes to be a man like himself. And so we'd love to hear from you, particularly also on Facebook and Twitter. We're asking you a very fun question, which was, if you were a celebrity and you wrote one of these tell-all books, what would your hashtag be if you had one of those books? Is it hashtag Bye Felicia? Is it going to be hashtag No Filter? What would your hashtag be if you wrote a tell-all book as a celebrity? We'd love to hear from you. Hashtag Afternoon Express, and obviously share your hashtag with us too. Now listen, if you guys want to read the juicy details for yourself from the book, from the book that he's written, it's now your chance to get that. So you can stand a chance of winning a signed copy of Domino's Unbreakable Spirit simply by SMSing the keyword books, your name and city to 33650. Those SMSs are R1.50 each and no free SMSs apply. And much more to come still from Somizi as we delve deeper into his new book. Plus, after the break, we take a look at another breathtaking lifestyle estate with private property. We're going to need the break. We'll see you after this.
Thank you so much for joining us back on Afternoon Express, live on SABC3. We're on the couch with the man of the moment, author of Dominoes, Unbreakable Spirit, Somizi Mhlongo. Right, so you grew up in Orlando East, known for the fast life, rife crime.
Superstars as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you grew up in your grandmother's house, along with 24 people from time to time. Obviously, the number would vary. What was a typical day in your four-roomed grandmother's house growing up?
Typical day is movement. You wake up. Pity. If it's during the week, you wake up. Whoever wakes up first gets the warmest water and dishing. And sometimes you share water. You wash. You take a bath. You take a dish. Yeah, a bath. In the middle of the kitchen whilst.
And dish is a dish. It's a bowl.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't understand.
It was born.
Okay.
You are washing yourself whilst someone is preparing breakfast, while someone is ironing shirts for school. It's movement. And then we all move out, we go to school, we come back, we eat, we play. Weekends are the best. They prepare.
But there was always drama.
Yeah, weekends are the best. They prepare food on the table, plates and bread, loaf browns and loaf whites. You eat according to your age group. The youngest ones, they eat the loaf brown with butter. The middle one, loaf white with jam and butter. The older ones, loaf brown with butter and French bologna. Levels.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. You're cleaning, someone washing, someone da-da, da-da.
Is there an incident that stands out for you that was like high drama, where you kids were just watching going, oh my goodness?
I mean, I was born in a family where alcohol was exposed. You know, like if...
It was a way of life.
Yeah, when you want money to eat at school, an older person will give you 10 rands to go buy beer so that you can get change. Yama coins, you know. So alcohol was exposed to us, and that alcohol also would be the reason why there's fights in between couples that were like my aunt and her husband, or my mother and her sister. They would be fighting in front of us, or while we were sleeping at night, and they'd be fighting for stupid, petty things. That's the danger of.
But you could tell that it would happen after like a while of drinking.
Yeah, at night, while you're sleeping, it will happen whilst someone walks in, and they would compare who got, like there'll be food that's put on the table for those that come back late. So the other one would open her plate and then open the other one's plate, and then just because they meet, there's 2 pieces there and there's 1 piece here, it's a war. Why am I getting, just because I don't have a job, and then they fight. And then we'll be sleeping like this, watching. So it became a norm. But also that, don't underestimate the mind of a child. And I realized at age 9, this is not going to be my life. Mina,
Yeah.
I am going to change, break the cycle, break the chain. And fortunately, I wasn't the only one that's thinking that. All my cousins are doing very well.
Absolutely.
From that, we said, we're breaking this chain. And it's you have a choice.
Yeah, and you mentioned in the book that because alcohol had become such a way of life, it was hard for you to find tangible, immediate role models in your space. So you had to look elsewhere for role models.
Yes.
Where did you look?
I looked everywhere. I mean, there were Abigail Gupega doing well. We heard of...
And who stood out for you? Who did you think
we heard
this
of
life is the one I want?
Miriam Makebas. I remember, for me, Brenda Fassie, for instance, when she came into the scene, I was like, wow, this talent, I want to be this big, I want to be this successful, before Brenda Fassie's stories. And I looked at the groups such as Mark Alex, for instance.
Yes.
Mark Alex, I was like, these guys, the way they managed their careers, they were properly managed, you know? So you had to find, Mam Felicia Mabuza, for instance. You had to find Romeo Khumalo. You had to find people that you look at and you can relate.
Yes,
you know? So I didn't run short of that.
And yet you didn't actually have too far to look because you had your parents and they were already performers.
And again, I also looked, I've always been that person that also finds the good in people. I looked at my mother and my father, their relationship, how they loved each other, how they loved me. I was never told I was ugly. I was never told I was stupid. Amid that, my parents, they never forgot to love me. And that contributed to my confidence right now.
And yet they were on the road, they were busy, they were ready
They came with me. For the fact that they even thought of not leaving me with someone else, traveled with me. I slept in hotels from age 2.
Wow.
You know, and they were sleeping in the bus. But I had a nanny that looked after me. I had cornflakes. Luxury,
yes.
But on the road, I was treated like a star. My parents gave me... I thought my parents were filthy rich. I thought my parents were rich because I
Because
never
you were
asked,
so loved.
Yeah, and we were so happy that I didn't realize how broke we were.
That's incredible.
That's beautiful.
One of the things that you paint very vividly is memories of the June 16 uprisings.
Yes.
And I'll quote from your book, you say, I remember the tear gas, the hippos, Thai burning, shops burning, the throwing of stones when the hippo drove past, buses burning, chants and singing in the streets, students in uniform running around. But because you were a kid, you guys would laugh and scatter and laugh
like a
about...
movie.
Yeah, we also did too. We'd see hippos driving past, we'd go, hippo, yo, I'm a hippo.
Yeah. And then you ran.
Right?
It looked like a movie until something tragic happened.
Absolutely. And what was that tragic realization?
I mean, in the beginning, I was excited when see people running because also that would be the story of the
drama.
day later. I would talk about it so and so. And sometimes I would also pretend like it's here guessing Camille. And until one day there was chaos and I ran to the toilet and there was a boy that's standing in front of me and they shot through the door and they shot that boy. And the boy died.
Right in front of you.
I was behind that boy. That is when I realized, Guti, this
is
thing
not fun and games.
is real. And I was traumatized for the longest time. So yeah, that was the one incident that I remember very well.
And what picture of your political world did you start to understand? Because then there was the whole pass one, pass all.
Yes.
Yes.
I was
experience
one
at
of
school.
I was a very smart child. I mean, doing well at school, and then there were riots in 1985 where they were so bad that we studied the whole year, we wrote exams, and then just after we wrote exams, they riot again and they say there was a curfew system that was happening around, and the students said, because some students did not have time to study, but they still wrote exams. They said, pass one, pass all, fail all. And they went for fail one, fail all. And I knew I was going to pass to the next standard. And I was like, I was so devastated. And that's when I also realized that this is not for me. Let me nurture something else that is going to sustain me. And I went to Sarafina.
Into Sarafina.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about Sarafina when we come back.
There is so much to chat about and so little time. Hashtag Afternoon Express across all of our social media platforms. Also, just a quick reminder that our phone lines are open. 021-430-9881. Share your thoughts. I'm loving so far reading through all the comments on Twitter. Everybody's so inspired by how honest and open Somizi has been on our show today. So thanks for all the tweets that have been coming through. I am reading every single one of them. So keep them coming through. It's time now for us to take a look at this week at our breathtaking South African estates with private property. This week we travel to the center of Gauteng between Joburg and Pretoria to the largest estates in the area, covering a massive 640 hectares.
For many, the search for a dream home begins at private property. The website boasts a wide variety of estate property options, including some new exciting developments in Midrand. This vibrant suburb, centrally located between Johannesburg, Pretoria and the East Rand, is also home to the world-renowned Kyalami racetrack, which serves as the venue for South Africa's premier motor racing events and welcomes motorsport enthusiasts and hobbyists alike.
My name's Darren Lobb. Today you're joining me at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit, one of the most famous racing circuits in South Africa, Africa and even the world. The area that we're part of is in Midrand, Johannesburg, South Africa. The best wake-up call in the morning for me is to hear cars and bikes running around the circuit, doing silly speeds, braking into corners. It's really just become a Saturday morning that I get used to being so close to Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. I started off as a youngster doing motocross, and in about 2004 I moved across to car racing. And since then, I've enjoyed 3 South African National Sports Car Championships. Some of the best reasons to have grown up and live in Midrand, we've got the Midrand Gautrain station, which is just a few kilometers from where we are today. And the awesome part about the Gautrain station is the access that it gives us to Sandton, to Johannesburg, to Pretoria, and the quick and easy access to OR Tambo, which is just a few stops away on the train. For those of you who enjoy the shopping side of things and a bit of retail therapy, we've got the Mall of Africa just up the road with a large array of shops and being entertained with the cinemas and all the activities that go on at the shopping centre. The newly built Waterfall Hospital is one of the best hospitals that you'll find in Johannesburg and probably one of the best hospitals you'll find in South Africa. As a race driver being here at the circuit, it's nice to know that there's a world-class medical facility very close by. And then we've got Laurie Park Animal and Owl Sanctuary that's not very far from here. The work that they've done rehabilitating animals, it's definitely a place that you want to take the kids to, even if you're just popping by Midrand. And for those of you that enjoy the sporty side of things, we've got the Momentum World of Golf, which is also just up the road for those of you that want to smash a few little white golf balls around a golf course. There's Grand Central Airport, which offers a host of flying lessons, whether it's in a fixed-wing aircraft or even a helicopter. It's nice to use Grand Central if you want to take a little flight across to Lanseria, to use that as a part of destination for anywhere else in the country. From my perspective, you'd definitely be making a mistake by not looking to make a home out of Midrand. It's my home, it's my family's home, and we've loved growing up here and still living here.
Midrand is attracting property buyers to estates like Westbrook, Beaulieu or Carlswold Estate. The largest estate in the area is the 640-hectare Waterfall residential estates, offering homeowners a safe and laid-back lifestyle.
Hi, I'm Norman Moore, sales manager of Waterfall, but also a resident as I bought into the lifestyle of Waterfall. This is my wife Beryl and my son Matthew. Well, I came here to work 5 years ago, and I've seen this place evolve from a farm to this beautiful estate. At Waterfall, you have the privilege of living in an estate where you're close to where you want to work. For those with younger kids, there's 2 schools on the premises. There's a Curo and there's a Redham. So for most families, that's a big draw card. You can walk out of your gate and onto a walking path and start jogging, jump on our bicycles and ride to the clubhouse, where there's a restaurant, these indoor pool facilities, there's squash courts, there's tennis courts. Your family's happy, you're happy. What a pleasure.
For me, Waterfall offers the best quality of life from cradle to retirement. There's a wonderful shopping mall called the Waterfall Corner Living. We also have wonderful facilities like the gym, which has yoga, Pilates, dance classes. This just encapsulates a gem of a lifestyle type of living at Waterfall Country Estate.
From a student's perspective, Waterfall has truly given me an environment to focus on my studies, on my health by exercising. When you're in Waterfall, it doesn't feel like you're in Johannesburg anymore. It feels like you've been taken somewhere else. It's a very tranquil environment. School kids also have access to playgrounds. The school children can walk safely between school and home or ride bicycles. The safety at Waterfall is top, and you don't ever have to worry about leaving your home if anyone will enter. It is really a different environment compared to what I have experienced before in Johannesburg. And everybody that you see has always got a smile on their face.
When looking to purchase in such a development, guidance from an expert agent is vital.
My name is Somizi Mhlongo. I've been operating here at Waterfall for about the last 5 years. This estate is really centered around lifestyle living. The Waterfall development has 4 different product sets. We first started with the Equestrian Estate around about 2003. Secondly, we have our mature lifestyle estates. We have the Waterfall Hills at Waterfall Valley, which are doing very well in terms of sales, and I think we've got just a few stands left on those particular developments. Then we have Waterfall Country Estate and Waterfall Country Village. The difference there is that the Waterfall Country Village are smaller stands, so they range from between 500 and about 800 squares. Then we have the Waterfall Country Estate. The stands there range from between 1,000 squares to about 1,500. The estates are pretty fantastic. They've got walking trails, we've got dams. There's a lot of fauna and flora on our estates, and we have an exceptional bird life. We also have a rental division here at Waterfall. We do rent out properties that range from between 200 squares to about 400 squares. We are trying to design products specific for people's needs. We've actually upgraded all the road infrastructure around the area to meet the demand. So if you wanted to get from here to Sandton, you could do that in 10 minutes. We sell to clients from an age group of about 25 all the way to about 60. The Waterfall development really offers all our clients the product they want. Waterfall Country Estate really is the best place to stay.
A country lifestyle in a convenient location. Waterfall Estates is everything you could hope for and more. To find your dream home at Waterfall Estates, visit privateproperty.co.za. Private Property, a home for everyone.
Every week we're going to be bringing you these great estates from around the country to enjoy and to perhaps make home one day. But on the show today on Afternoon Express, we've got the legend, the extravagant, the amazing, the super dancey Somizi. And it's one thing that I've always been terrible at. And he's been browsing through all your comments on social media, so keep them coming through. Hashtag Afternoon Express. We'd love to hear from you. How did you do this thing in this photo? There's this photo on our Facebook page. How did you do, how do you... Didn't stay there.
Not that.
How do you...
Ow!
How do you get up there? Like... Don't have strong enough toes for that. All right, what I do know I can do well is read through some of the comments that have been coming through. So on our Facebook page, we've found so many really cool comments coming through, for all the love for you, by the way.
Thank you.
So Dimakatso says, I'm watching and listening carefully to Somizi. I love the show. I love how you keep bringing people who inspire and motivate us on the show. Blessed we are and very grateful too. Shelly says, I have to get my hands on a copy of this book. Somizi, you rock! And then there's this one that I wanted to read from Iketeng. There we go, it's Iketeng. He's just amazing and inspiration to everyone who understands how to stand on their own 2 feet despite all the odds life can give you. I love you, Somgaga. Woo, Shem.
That's the one I wanted to see. Oh, yes, it's this one. From Wandile Dlamini, he says, I cannot see at the end of the tunnel, of my tunnel right now, but every time I listen to him, I feel motivated. I was where you are right now. Trust me. It is greener on the other side. It's God just testing you and seeing what you are ready for the greatness that's coming.
Boom, 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 boom. All the wisdom that's coming through from all the tweets that I'm seeing. Hazel says, I could watch Somizi all day. Shem. But you pops keep calling him Solomzi. Who keeps calling him Solomzi?
Everyone.
Could be confusing with somebody else. No. Got one from Shanique who says, Somizi is so relatable, so honest and full of life. Somizi nga morekela, which is really cool. Yeah, you read that one out there?
Nkamo rekela, kota and drink last
20.
Yeah, last 20.
Okay, so I'm not the only one. Good.
Do you know what it means?
No. You can buy kota, like I know what a kota is from Joburg, like a little, you cut your sami and you put your meat in your, not that kind of kota.
She says, me and you must have lunch.
Oh, lekker.
Kota for 20 rand.
There we go. And then we are so excited to get my hands on Dominoes. She's already sent through a whole bunch of SMSs there through to our SMS line. So thanks so much.
Who's this?
I am __ Sinayo.
I will break the rules. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the first winner is I am Sinayo. Yeah! I wasn't supposed to do this, but it's my book. It's my rules. I've rights. Viva!
You guys can also obviously SMS that keyword books, your name, surname, and area to 33650, and you could be winning yourself a copy of Somizi's book. #Afternoon Express across all of our social media platforms. Now, coming up after the break, more with Somizi as we chat about his book, Dominoes, Unbreakable Spirit. And remember that our lines are open, 021-430-9881. So call in right now and you might have the opportunity to ask your burning questions to Somizi himself. Add that spice, add that sauce, and we could be chatting to you live on the show. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, live on SABC3. Now, we're 2 days away from celebrating Women's Day, so excited. And from the 16th to the 17th of August, the annual Top Women Conference will bring together a host of iconic leaders to drive discussions around gender empowerment in business. And to stand a chance to network and rub shoulders with thought leaders and captains of industry, simply SMS the keyword Top Women, followed by your email address to 33650, and you could win 2 all-access passes to the conference. SMSs are charged at R1.50 each. And no free SMSs apply. T's and C's can be found on Afternoon Express website. For more information on this fantastic event, visit www.topwomen.co.za.
Whip up your foodie creativity with Clover Cream. Made with love by Clover.
All right, it's time for us to make something delicious in the Afternoon Express Loft Kitchen. And when having a guest as an extravagant and fabulous as Somizi in your loft, we thought it was only fitting to match his personality and vibe in the kitchen. It's decadent, it's indulgent, and it's chocolatey. This dark chocolate ganache tart is perfectly complemented by mounds of cream, and I'm making sure I save space for seconds on this one because it is magnificent.
It is, absolutely. So
let's get started. I'm keen.
So what I've got is a little pot of simmering water, and I've got some beautiful chocolate chips that's going to go over the water. It's going to start melting. But we have to add the beautiful cream to it as well. So essentially for a ganache, there's only 2 ingredients that you need. Chocolate and cream. And we're using beautiful Clover cream today because I'm very particular about the ingredients that I use. I want to be sure that every time I use an ingredient, I know I'm going to have that same consistent, beautiful flavor, and the quality is always there in the product.
Yeah, it's really the worst to make it once nicely and then tell your friends to make it again and then you use a different one and then it's not very good. So while we're talking about Clover, if you guys want to get all the details on this recipe, it's so simple. So don't worry about taking notes. It's the perfect ganache to keep on your sort of recipe books at home. You can SMS the keyword Clover to 33650. It'll cost you R1.50. And those free SMSs don't apply. And voila, you'll get yourself all the details for the recipe on your cell phone or mobile device, which is cool.
Absolutely. So I'm going to put you to work now.
Cool.
A couple of strawberries over there. You can chop them up any way you want. You can slice them, you can dice them, any way that you want to do it, but you will be judged.
I'll keep them the most simple way that I know how.
So what I've done is I've made a very simple tart base made out of a famous cookies and cream flavored biscuit and some butter.
Cool.
All right. So I just crushed them all together, popped them into the bottom of springform tin, and then I've got some ganaches already done. So you can pass that to me real quick.
Oh, you're making me do 3 things at
There
once.
we go. So this is the ganache where I melted the chocolate and the cream together. Perfect, beautiful, nice and velvety and delicious.
I like that because it takes away that richness or the sort of sourness from a dark chocolate, which is cool. So ganache is one of my favorite things. It's not as like decadent. You can have more and more and more and have seconds, like I mentioned.
Yes, you can. I was going to say yes, you can. All right. So what I've done is I fold it into the base that we made earlier.
Cool.
That's going to go into the fridge, and it's going to come out looking
like this one.
So let me bring it a little closer. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to borrow some more of those cookies. Can you pass them to me?
Sure. How many do you need?
Just give me that stack. Just like that. That's perfect.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
so much. I'm just going to grate some more over the top just to add some extra crunch, deliciousness. And then you can go with your strawberries.
Oh, I'm a big fan of this stuff.
Go for it.
These cookies are my favorite. Oopsies.
Kind of just dump them right in the middle. So beautiful. I like it. Did that very rustic. What I've done over here is I've just kind of heated some almonds and some icing sugar together in the pan. Kind of caramelized them and crystallized them.
Delicious.
And that's done. Look at that.
And a ganache is complete. What it's called a tart, right?
It
So
is,
like a chocolate tart.
yeah.
And it's got my favorite cookies at the bottom, and it's got my favorite chocolate in the middle, and it's got strawberries, and it's almonds. So we can call it healthy. Why don't we on the show today? All right, have some fun making this dish at home, and you don't forget to SMS those details to 33650, and you can get the recipe on your mobile device. And if you've just tuned in, here's a quick recap on how we did all of this.
So great to have you back on the couch with us. So before we went astray on our little breaks, we spoke about your experience of June 16.
Yes.
Right? And then we spoke about the loss of a friend that you saw get shot right in front of you, which then brings me to the loss of your brother, Archie.
Yes.
In 1985, where you say it was one of the most devastating losses of your life, and that was the first time you came face to face with just the harrowing sense of loss. Tell us about your brother, Archie, and losing him.
I think for me, what devastated me the most was, maybe it's in English, premonition.
Yeah, bonovalo.
When you preempt, when you see something happening in your head and you don't tell anyone and then it happens later.
Premonition.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I believe that I've got some powers nyana or some calling nyana. Because yes, I woke up that morning. My brother was away from us for a long time. Then he came back. That weekend, there was a wedding, a relative's wedding later on. So that morning I woke up to buy fat cakes, same street. Then there's a queue. And then behind me, there's a boy that I know, Justice. Justice says, Ish, I'm sorry about your brother. Like, why? He passed away. What do you think? Why do you say he passed away? No, somebody said he was killed. My brother is there. Then I buy my queen. I go home, normal day.
Just move on.
I forgot if good Justice told me anything. And then he goes to the wedding, dressed nicely in a green suit. I remember that day. There was a lime green suit. He had a great body. He was a weightlifter. Beautiful. He goes to the wedding. He comes back from the wedding semi-drunk, excited, then changes into casual stuff, jean, and then he goes. And then we sleep. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., we get a knock. Archie's found dead, stabbed at a tavern. Immediately, I'm like, oh no. And I was scared to tell my parents that
somebody had mentioned
something like that, and they were going to, you crazy, you lying and
so
stuff.
So you felt a certain amount of guilt and
yes.
self-blame.
Or I could have warned him. If I said it. That's why to this day, when I think of something or I hear about something or I dream of something, I share it. Because it did not end with my father as well. I dreamt my father in a coffin. They just returned from Sarafina in New York. I was in
Broadway.
Paris. I was in Paris when my father died. Then 2 weeks later, and I didn't share it with him. The only thing I said to my mother when I called, I said, please move from Orlando and go buy a house somewhere else. And she asked, no, just move. I didn't explain why. Then my father dies the same way I dreamed of. He felt sick and he was in a coffin the next thing. And then that started worrying me also, So more than the actual event, it was me not warning those people. So I don't know, but I can't say. Headlines too. Somizi
twice. Speaking of that place of loss and that feeling of devastation, you've had some low points in your life, and you say that low point was when you thought of writing the book. And at the time, you didn't even have a happy ending in sight. You were told that you had a terminal illness. What is a Somizi in a dark place like? Because I can't imagine that contrast of like your personality, and you're always out there and you're always open, ready to share everything. Who is that Somizi between when he wakes up devastated, him just getting out of bed, trying to go brush his teeth?
The funny part is that I am the most positive person, even in the worst situations. I mean, when I could wake up, when you wake up and it was like 3 to 4 years straight with no jobs, nothing.
But how did that happen?
Because after
you were
that
a choreographer.
After that case, sexual assault, I think my reputation was tainted.
Right.
And obviously we depend on how inspirational or whatever clean your reputation is.
Right.
So it was tainted because I was found guilty, and jobs started coming in. So I started to suffer. But when you wake up, you wish it was night all the time. Because night for me is like everybody's sleeping now. There's no call that's gonna come and say you owe this. When you wake up and you have nothing, no amount of money, you look underneath the couches and the cushions and the ashtrays to find money, and you find 11 rands, and like, yes, and you walk to the shop, you buy giblets, and you come cook them, they last you for 3 days. That's dark. When you've cried so much that, I remember when Lebu passed away, I wished I was the one who passed away when I was going through that. When you cry so much that the best way not to see your tears is to get underneath a shower so that you don't see your tears.
Feel them.
And you don't feel your tears. But in everything, every part of that, Bonnie, I knew I was going to be here. I think for me, there was something that, the level of hope, that's the one part that was not taken away. And for me, I said, Somizi, you need this. As much as it's taking too long now,
you need this.
You need this. This
and
must happen.
You knew you were going to rise up out of that
This
hole.
must, because with this, it's also sifting certain people out of your life that your success can't come in that space with certain people in your space. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get you.
There's certain energies that need to be away. There's certain things that you need to stop doing before you... The success is there. God was saying, here it is, but not with that stain, move that stain, not with that scar, not with those thoughts, not with that
habit,
heart, not with that anger, not with that. So I needed to go through that. You need to suffer, you need to believe that I am God and I'm alive, but you need to earn it, you need to deserve it. And
that's incredible.
That's the hope that I knew. When it comes, I will be ready, and I am so ready. Because to be this successful and this big and still be down to earth and be humble and be nice, those things in this business or in life generally do not go hand in hand, but they can go hand in hand.
Absolutely, and that's the miracle.
And that is the readiness.
Absolutely. We're going to be right back. Dan.
Ooh, all right, so Monday motivation to a whole new level. That hashtag is already trending on social media. So let's get hashtag Afternoon Express trending across the platforms. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what Somizi is sharing with us today. Loving it as much as you guys are. I'm reading through all the comments and they've been amazing. So thank you for all of those. We're just 2 days away from celebrating Women's Day. And from the 16th to the 17th of August, the annual Top Women Conference will bring together a host of iconic leaders to drive discussions around gender empowerment in business. Now, to stand a chance to network and rub shoulders with thought leaders and captains of the industry, simply SMS the keyword Top Women followed by your email address to 33650 and you could win 2 of all access passes to the conference. SMSs are charged at R1.50 per SMS and free SMSs do not apply. T's and C's can be found on the Afternoon Express website. For more information on this fantastic event, you can visit www.topwomen.co.za. Somizi is with us for the entire show today, so much more to come from him after the break. Don't forget that we're also taking your calls live on the show, 021 430 9881. If you'd like the chance to speak to him yourself, make sure you call that number, 021 430 9881. I've got my cookies. I hope you've got your popcorn. Show continues after these. It's so good to have you back with us on Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3 with Somizi, and we're taking all of your comments on our phone lines as well as hashtag Afternoon Express. Loving all the comments that are coming through. Now, with Winner Home in full swing on Afternoon Express every Friday, our competing design duos are catching everybody's attention. So if you'd like to meet them, then come to Decorex Joburg and 100% Design South Africa this coming Friday and Saturday, where they will make the following appearances. Friday the 11th of August at the Decorex Joburg at Gourmet Cooking Theatre in Hall 2. That's happening at 1:30 p.m. And then again on Saturday the 12th of August at 100% Design South Africa at the Media Lounge in Hall 1, also at 1:30 p.m. All happening at the Gallagher Convention Centre. And if you live in Johannesburg, you could also win access tickets. Simply SMS the keyword WIN followed by your name and city to 33650 for your chance to win one of 40 double entry tickets to the expo for you and a friend to enjoy. SMSs cost R1.50 and T's and C's apply and can be found on our website. Be sure not to miss out on this chance to meet the Winner Home design duos and to be inspired.
This is your chance to win the home you've always dreamed of. SA's favorite interior design reality competition, Winner Home, sees 3 design duos transform empty spaces into lavish homes, and one of them could be yours. To enter, visit privateproperty.co.za and vote for your favorite design duo. Put yourself in line to win amazing prizes in the bi-weekly draw and automatically be entered for a chance to win the grand prize, your choice of one of 3 fully designed homes in the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate in the south of Joburg. The finished property will include luxurious finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone, as well as premier home appliances by Grundig, with a total prize value of more than 3 million rand. Competition details plus T's and C's can be found on the private property website. Watch the breathtaking properties come to life as the design drama unfolds and stand a chance to win the biggest prize on South African television, your very own dream home.
And remember that voting for your favorite design duo on privateproperty.co.za also enters you into the Winner Home bi-weekly competition, where this time around you could win a Plascon paint voucher to the value of 5,000 rand. It's time for us to continue our conversation with Somgaga on the couch.
Right. So enter Sarafina. Sarafina goes to Broadway. Your parents are in Sarafina. You ask if you can join the cast. Your dad says no, but somehow you end up in Sarafina. Tell us about that journey.
Well, there's people. A lot of people don't know this. There was the first Sarafina cast that went to New York on Broadway. That was where my father was at.
Yes.
And he was the choreographer as well. So, and when they started it, I saw young people. I'm like, no, I can do it, and I could sing, I could dance, I could, you know. And my father said, no, you have to go to school. I said, sharp. Then 2 years later, when my parents were still in New York with the other Sarafina, there was a demand for the world tour. So that's when Mbongeni also had auditions. Then I went for auditions, and then Mbongeni asked, does your father know what you hear? I said, yes. Fortunately, then it was 1880.
And there was no social media.
No social media, just a landline and a telegram.
No one was going to say, now Somizi la uyachaipa.
Yes. So I said yes, and then Mbongeni took my word for it. And then I auditioned and then I got the part. But I went through the right process. It wasn't about whether my father is in it.
Absolutely.
And I went through the right process, auditioned, and I got the role. And my father only found out when he saw we were relieving them in New York, when he saw the list of the cast that is coming. But it was too late. We were at the airport already, and they were also at the airport flying back. So we were like,
bye, Dad.
Bye. But the beauty about it is that I never got into trouble. When I called one day, like a week later or so, and he said, is that what you really, really want? I said, yes.
Yeah.
I said, listen, I would rather you follow your heart and your passion. And also remember, if you fail, don't be scared to come back to us and tell us that it's tough and you failed.
Right.
Because we would rather you having tried than you being miserable and you are the most successful lawyer or doctor, but your heart is not there.
Absolutely. Tell me about your first crush.
My first crush?
Philemon.
My first crush was at 12, 13 at high school. Philemon.
But then you didn't know it was a crush.
No, I thought we were supposed to be friends. It was a friend crush, you know. But when I grew old, I realized I was attracted to this guy. And we became friends. And we had a group called JPS. It was Job, Philemon, and Somizi Mhlongo. So there was a cigarette, something like that, way back. It's not. It's discontinued. So we called ourselves JPS, and I used to have crush, but I never did anything about it. So it was useless.
Yeah, but you were very aware of the sexuality
Oh,
from
no,
a very
no,
early age.
Darling. I went from 4. Hey, something is coming. I mean, my father used to tease me. I used to go, sing, and then I would sing, and they go, I believe the children are the future. Teach them well. And my father would go, woo, stubborn as I'm.
We've got a caller on the line. Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing? Do you want to speak to Somizi?
Yes, I'd love to.
Go ahead.
Hi, Kels.
Hi, how are you?
I am super splendiferously, ostentatiously, deliberately amazing.
Can you actually send some of that crazy energy that you have to me, because I need it so badly? I'm actually gonna be separated from my husband. I'm gonna be married for 21 years, and I'm actually relocating. So I've got a lot going on, and I actually need you to lift me up with that positive energy you have. You're like a great ball of fire, and you are so amazing. You are, you're a personality, and you're so humble, and you don't get a lot of people that are so grounded like you. So please send some of that to me,
I will
please.
definitely send it to you, my love. You know what? Don't be too hard on yourself. Look at the brighter side. You are in a much better place. I don't know what's going on, but I can tell you're in a much better place. Some people die in unhappy places. You are starting a new life. You are finding your happiness. There's a reason why you're living, but don't be too hard on yourself. You did all you could, I believe, and I think you sound like a sensible woman. So don't be too hard on yourself. Look at the brighter side. It's going to be tough, and don't be unrealistic and in denial of the pain that you are feeling. Deal with the pain. You will come through. Trust me. It's never too late. As long as you're breathing, love will find you.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Love you.
Thank you, Kelly. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I'm so excited that you're bringing out a deluxe version of this book because there's so much to talk about. I haven't even gotten started.
Yeah, and for the reason for deluxe was that some things were left out because I needed permission to speak about certain people, which I think it's very important.
Yeah, to get that out first, especially because you're going to say things and then it's going to be a whole blow up on Twitter.
Absolutely. The aim of the book is not to embarrass, but to to inspire.
Absolutely.
I like that. Let's just talk about what's been going on social media at the moment during our show. Everyone's been tweeting with that hashtag Afternoon Express, and they've all been saying how motivated they are by you. It is a Monday, it's Motivation Monday.
Yeah.
You seem to have these pearls of wisdom that are such Twitter moments. They're like 140 characters of great wisdom that you always share. How about sharing some more of that with our viewers? Because they've been very inspired by your journey.
I think we all have that, you know, but it's just that sometimes, that's what I say, there's nothing special about what's happening in that book. It's the platform that I'm at that is special. I have a voice that can touch so many people, and I'm using the platform. But in terms of the story, we all go through that. Everybody goes through that. But I'm just encouraging even more. You can never have enough encouragement. If you can get it every day or motivation, take it. And if you can give it as well, give it.
Give it.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Somgaga, I'm so
That's
sorry we have to say
incredible.
goodbye, but thank you for the tell-all special on
It's not a
Afternoon
tell-all.
Express. Not yet. It's
There's nothing like a tell-all. No one tells all.
No one tells all.
There's something
No
that
one
to the
tells
grave.
all.
We love this man so much. It's been so cool hanging out with you guys on the show today. Have a brilliant
Thank
evening.
you.
And good night. We'll see you tomorrow for the cook-along on Afternoon Express. It's going to be absolutely epic.
Where's Jeannie?
Good night.
Where's Jeannie? She's away on holiday. She's coming back tomorrow.
With Tatleo.
Yeah?
Tatleo is also on holiday.
Oh, probably. I don't know whether it's together or not. Who knows?
Goodbye. It's been amazing. See you same time, same place.
Tomorrow.
This.
Bye. That was great.
Search for a home on any device, anytime, anywhere. Private Property, a home for everyone.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.